Officer Don Anderson, SWAT.
In 1974, during the SLA incident, it lasted approximately 64 minutes. There were in excess of 10,000 rounds fired. And then in 1997, during the North Hollywood incident, there were in excess of 1,700 rounds fired. And that's an awful lot of rounds to be flying around your city. I was the driver of the vehicle that actually was eastbound on Archwood, approaching the suspects. We were traveling at a rather high rate of speed. As we proceeded down Archwood, we saw a pickup truck that had the windows shut out of it. We could see someone inside the vehicle. My first thought was that we have a victim. As we got closer to him, we realized, I think all at the same time, that it was a suspect, and we dove in behind the Jeep engine block for some kind of protection. People look at it like, we're driving right into gunfire. Well, that's actually the safest thing you can do. If you turn and drive out, he can turn and follow you out of the location, so you're in actually his line of fire for a longer period of time. The suspect has exited the vehicle. He's got what appears to be an M16. Officer Gomez, realizing that the suspects are ready to engage us, lays down cover fire, affording us a chance to exit the vehicle. At this point, I'm putting out a broadcast that I am northeast of the bank and under heavy gunfire. When I exited my vehicle and went to the rear of the vehicle, I could see the suspect firing in my direction through his windshield. I returned fire through his windshield. I could see his upper body. At that point, he went down a little bit below the hood of his vehicle. I told Ricky that I had a malfunction. I went down to clear it. Ricky immediately came over the back of the vehicle and began engaging the suspect, which gave Steve the chance to completely exit the vehicle. At this point, I've cleared my weapon, and Ricky is now covering me from the rear of the vehicle. I lost sight of the suspect, proned out underneath the vehicle, and was able to see a portion of his feet. The whole time, he's constantly shooting. At this point, Steve Gomez states that the suspect is down. We wasn't sure if there was another suspect in the vehicle, so we basically tactically moved up on the vehicle and the suspect. As we rounded the vehicle, I could see that he had his weapon basically near his hands, which ultimately turned out to be an assault rifle. I'm kicking the assault rifle away from his hands at this point, and I just pointed back to the vehicle to have Ricky. The door was closed. I couldn't see what was inside. I was having Ricky check the interior of the vehicle for additional suspects. And Ricky's going around. He's checking to see if there are additional suspects in the vehicle. We've now moved the weapon from the suspect. We're getting him cuffed at this point, taking him into custody. I'm attempting to secure the scene and put some officers in charge, basically, of this scene so we can get back to the bank. The SLA shooting in 1974 and the North Hollywood shooting in 1997 were two of probably the biggest televised shootings within the history of the Los Angeles Police Department. A gunfight is a gunfight. The officers on a daily basis that are involved in gunfights, their incidents to them are just as big as the SLA incident or the North Hollywood incident. When somebody's shooting at you, they're shooting at you, whether it be with a cannon or a .38. That shooting to you is the biggest incident that you'll ever be in.